What's happening, everybody, and welcome to my first ever product review. This past Christmas, I wanted to treat myself to a wireless headphone solution for my Whites MXT. Upon doing the research, I found that my options were a bit limited based on the requirements that I needed for the wireless setup. But I did find a product that fit my needs, and we're going to take a look at it in just a minute. This review was actually shot back in January 7th, I believe, and it's before the Garrett Z-Links came out, and I do mention them in this review. Hindsight being 2020, I think Garrett's got the market cornered. My choice is a very good choice for detecting. I'm not knocking it in the least, but I think that the Garrett Z-Links are going to be the more practical solution at the moment. I don't know who else is coming out with products like these. I guess we'll find out. I think Garrett's going to have some competition once everybody realizes how successful that product really is. So, let's get my review started of the Sennheiser RS160 wireless headphones and transmitter. Alright, I'm going to get started first by saying that this is not a sponsorship deal by Sennheiser. There's no endorsement involved. This is what I purchased off Amazon using my own money after doing the research to figure out what headphone sets available out there would suit my needs best. And this was my choice. So, let's get this thing started. Let's take a look at first what my inspiration was to finally switch over to wireless. The inspiration for this is these. Before I was using my MXT in the woods, I was using a Whites V3i, and it came with Spectra sound, and I love being wireless. It's great not being tethered to a machine. Only drawback I didn't like about these was the size of them. They are pretty big and hefty. They weigh a little bit, and in the summer I didn't like them at all. They would just build up sweat inside my ears, and it's just not comfortable on a hot day. So when I went to the MXT, I started using these. You've seen them in the videos. They're just cheap $15 headphones you can get pretty much anywhere. This one has an inline rotary volume control. Downside to these is the fact that the wires on these things are so frail. You snag them in the woods. I've gone through 3 sets of these. I think I've broken one set and I've pulled wires out of 2 others. Not good, so wasting money on this type of stuff. So that was my inspiration to go wireless and find something that was in between something small like that and my big cumbersome headphones for the V3i. So let's turn the camera around, take a look. Alright, and here's everything that's included in the package. You get your 2.4 gigahertz transmitter, you get your wireless headphones receiver, you get a power supply that comes with various adapters for different countries. I live in the United States, so I got that on there already. You get a power supply splitter that allows you to charge this and power that if needed. You get one 3.5 millimeter plug set to go between the transmitter and the metal detector. And you also get 2 rechargeable batteries. We'll take a look at that further in a bit. One thing that this kit does not include that you're going to need, since White's metal detectors run on 1/4-inch headphone jacks, as well as many other detectors, and this kit will work with that as well, you will need a 3.5 millimeter to 1/4-inch headphone adapter. You've probably seen these in the past. They've been around for years. I prefer to use a 90-degree one so that when it comes out of the back of the detector, the cord's off to the side, not hanging out back where I can accidentally break it off or do some other damage to it. These you'll have to purchase separately. They're a few bucks from wherever. Alright, let's take a look at the heart of the operation here, which is the transmitter. This is a 2.4 gigahertz transmitter. Sennheiser uses clear wireless technology. There's a couple reasons why I went with this. A, the audio is completely lossless. You're talking CD quality audio, which is something metal detectorists absolutely desire, is to have that great audio. B, the latency on this thing is fantastic. Since it's meant to be used with televisions, you're not going to get that delay between the lips moving and the audio hitting your ears. That's another reason why I chose it as well. On the back of this, you have your power connector here. It's meant to be used for a wall charger. That way at home you're not just sitting there wasting batteries. You've got your 3.5 millimeter connector jack there for your power, your audio source. And as well, it comes with a very convenient audio preamp volume control. This allows you to control the audio output to the headphones before you even adjust the volume on the headphones. That's very, very convenient. Now, the other cool thing about this is it runs on 2 AA batteries if you'd like. The runtime on these 2 AA batteries for this transmitter is 120 hours. I'm not kidding. 120 hours according to the specs. That's about 10 digs at 12 hours per dig. Fantastic. And this is another reason why I chose this setup, was the amazing runtime on these products. So, stop and take a look at the headphones now. Alright, let's take a look at the headphones. These are rechargeable if you need. Like I said, they come with a Panasonic Enerloops, but the nice thing is you can also run AAA alkaline batteries as well. These are rated for up to 24 hours of runtime, which is pretty darn good. And you can recharge the headphones. You're talking about a 16-hour charge time on these, or you can swap out alkaline batteries, and that was part of my choice. If I'm out in the woods or I'm camping or something and I don't have access to a charger, this whole setup will run on batteries. Very nice. These headphones check in at 226 grams, which I believe is 8 ounces, so they're pretty light. They're not the smallest headphones in the world, but they're not the biggest ones. They fall in between my Spectra Sounds and the cheapy ones I was using. The batteries are easily accessible. You just unscrew each one of the wire cups, and one battery goes on each side of the headset for great weight distribution. Very easy to get at should you need to, but if you're running rechargeables, most of the time you will not. On the bottom, you've got your power supply connector here for charging, 16 hours. As well, you've got a power button in the center, and you've got your volume control here, plus and minus. Very cool little setup. All right, let's set the metal detector up and figure out how we're going to mount all this. Essentially what I'm doing here is I'm Frankensteining a transmitter and wireless headphone set that's meant for in-home use while you're laying in bed or you're on the couch and you don't want to disturb the wife. And what I'm doing is I'm adapting it to use for outdoor use on a metal detector. So there's some cons that came with the pros, and this is one of the cons. This transmitter is not the shape that I like. By the time this video is out, Garrett should have their Z-Link setup out, and what I like about that setup is the transmitter. It's this little rectangular jobby, and it straps very nicely onto the shaft. This is round, and like I said, it's meant for home use. So, one of the sacrifices I'm going to have to make is where it goes. Ideally, I would have liked to have mounted it right here, since there's a little patch of real estate that's perfect and rectangular, but that's not going to work. It's going to hang way out over the detector. Not good. So, like Garrett, I'm going to mount mine here as well, and I'm going to be using a little trip to the hardware store already. I've got a 3/4 inch conduit clamp that's going to clamp right under there. I've got a little bit of stainless hardware as well. I've got a couple lock nuts and a couple stainless screws. And I'm going to fabricate a nice thick piece of aluminum to accommodate it right there. I'll strap everything in, and then I'll use Velcro or zip ties to attach it there. It's not the smallest thing in the world, but hey, it's the sacrifice I made for this setup. So, let's mount it on here temporarily, and let's get to the audio test. So here's what I did. I took a piece of aluminum and I cut it into the rough shape of the base of the transmitter itself. I've got 2 holes drilled in it that match the holes in the 3/4 inch conduit strap. As well, I've got my stainless hardware with the lock nuts that'll hold that onto the shaft of the detector. And before I do that, I'm going to use some electrical tape and go around the shaft where that's going to clamp up so it doesn't wiggle loose at all. Alright, let's take a look how everything is bolted down here. Let's start up at the top of the transmitter, and you can see I've got the bracket bolted to where the S in the shaft is, right below the head unit. And I don't have this bolted down entirely tight. I want a little bit of give and play in that, just in case the detector gets dropped or bangs up against a tree or something. There's a little bit of play in the whole deal, and this won't want to break or do anything bad. Right behind that, you've got your 1/8 inch headphone jack cable, and I've got it snaked down off the side of the detector just a hair. I've got this at a slight angle. Comes down, I got a little electrical tape there, and then I've got a little painter's tape there. And then again against the machine I've got a little bit of electrical tape, and it allows me to take off the coil wire and change out the entire coil without having any type of interference from here. Let's flip it over and take a look at the other side. And here's looking at it from the other side of the box. There's the 1/8" cable there, where I've got it electrical taped in front of the handle. A little bit of painter's tape on the bottom of the shaft there just for a little extra protection. A little more electrical tape right in front of the box unit. And then I've simply run the cable down along the inside of the shaft, coiled up the excess, taped it off, and velcroed it to the shaft itself. And that's not going anywhere. And then obviously in the back of the machine is where this all plugs in. Done. Piece of cake. Very simple project, and it's very effective. I've been very happy with the results so far. Alright, I've got the MXT powered up and in place. I've got everything wired up, and I've got the headphones clamped onto my cell phone so that you can hear the audio and see the latency as well. To turn it on, you hit the power button on the transmitter for 1 second. It'll start flashing a green LED, letting you know it's looking for its partner in crime. Hit the power button on the headphones for 1 second as well, and my threshold tone should pop in. And there you go. For the test, I'm going to use a Stealth Digger token because I've always wondered what the VDI rings up on one of these. So let's jump down the end of the coil and have a listen. That is fantastic. I've already been outside with this thing to hear the audio, and the latency you can see is fantastic on it. Very, very fast time on this. Awesome, 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 awesome. That's exactly what I wanted in these headphones. Fantastic audio, fantastic response time from the machine. Let's jump out of here and wrap this video up. And there it is, my review of the Sennheiser RS160 wireless headphones and transmitter. Pros and cons to this. Pros are it uses clear audio technology, which gives it full CD quality, no loss at all. You're not talking compression like Bluetooth. Latency is fantastic as well, since it's meant to be used with television. You're not losing anything in the translation, which makes it perfect for metal detecting. Battery time is amazing. 120 hours on the transmitter using AA batteries, and up to 24 hours using the headphones, which are rechargeable or will use the AAA batteries as well. Fly in the ointment is that this is an indoor use setup. It's not waterproof, it's not water resistant, and it's not built for outdoor use. So I was a smart little puppy. For $10, I got the 3-year extended warranty on it, just in case these turn out to be not as durable as I hope. I'm probably going to have to tiptoe through the tulips with these things out in the woods just a little bit, but it's the sacrifices we'll make. I paid $120 for the headphones. When the Z-Links come out through Garrett in whenever, they're not out yet, they're probably going to be hitting the streets around that price. I think suggested list is $150. But list and actual cost never work out the same, so we'll find out. The difference between the two is, obviously you don't get headphones with a Garrett setup. That's just the transmitter and the receiver. But that is a nice setup. So, don't know what's coming up in the next couple of weeks, guys. I got something, I'm sure. Thanks for watching. Good luck and happy hunting, and we'll see everybody pretty soon.